Okay, here we go with problem 9 on the college algebra final review. And here we start our exponential and logarithmic problems. And there's several coming, so let's kind of get in a logarithmic mode of thinking here. We were solving for an exponent, and sooner or later we're probably going to involve some logs because that's how we solve for exponents. We want to isolate this power function, this 3 to the x minus 2, by subtracting the 2 from both sides. So we're going to subtract 2. And over here I'm just going to write that 3 to the x minus 2 is 23. That's a good start. Always good to show all your work. Okay, so now we've got a power, and we just kind of lump that as some exponent. If I can find out what should go here, then I can figure out what x can be, because it's just going to be 2 bigger than what should go there. And how do I find that? Well, we're using a base 3 power, right? We're using a power at the base of 3. So let's take the log base 3 of both sides. We're going to take the log base 3 of 3 to the x minus 2. You can see this actually works out by design. And we'll take the log base 3 of 23. Okay. Now, the log base 3 of 3 raised to the x minus 2 says, what should I put as an exponent on 3 so that it's equivalent to 3 raised to the x minus 2? And the answer is x minus 2. Right? That's the answer to this question. Taking log base 3 of this just essentially strips it down to the exponent. And this is just the log base 3 of 23. We're going to worry about crunching this out a little bit later. Right now we'll just leave it as the log base 3 of 23. Now we're going to add 2 to both sides. So now we know that x is the log base 3 of 23 plus 2. We just added 2 to both sides. Now, it does say to round your answer to 4 decimal places, so that means that this isn't going to cut it for the answer. This probably will get you a large majority of the points. You've showed me you know what you're doing, you know how to solve this log problem, use the correct procedures. Everything went great, but there might be a point or two knocked off because it did say the answer should be in 4 decimal places. So first thing we have to do is we have to sort out how do we find the log base 3 of 23 using most normal calculators. Well, we need to use something called the change of base formula. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the log of 23. This is a common log, right? And we're going to divide that by the log of 3. And we can do that in just about any calculator because any calculator can calculate a common log. And when we get this number, and I would go ahead and crunch this out first, get that in your calculator, and then simply add 2. And so the way I would do that on the calculator, and it looks like you can see this, I'm going to take the common log of 23, I'm going to close a parenthesis, divided by common log of 3, close a parenthesis, and I'm going to go ahead and hit enter because I want the calculator to crunch that out for me. Then I'm going to add 2, and I'm going to hit plus 2 equals, and reading this 4.8540, the next one is less than 5, so to 4 decimal places it's 8540, so 4.8540. And to be precise, we should probably use the squiggly style equal sign there, just so that we're communicating the fact that we know that's really an approximate answer. This is actually an exact answer. This is an approximate answer. It's all good. And that's all you have to do to get through problem number 9.